So the Sonic 4 movie is not expected to be released until 2027. And based off of what we saw in the post-credit scenes in the Sonic 3 movie, it looks like Amy Rose is going to be a part of the upcoming Sonic movie that's going to be like 2 years from now. And and yeah, we saw Amy Rose, we saw Metal Sonic, so obviously obviously we're basically getting hints that the movie is going to be a loose adaptation of Sonic CD, a game that came out back in 1993 for Sega CD that I feel like a lot of casuals never really got the chance to play because a lot of people weren't really buying like Sega CDs back in the day, and I don't think it sold as much as the Sega Genesis did. But I digress. Sonic CD, for the most part, I feel like is one of the more it's probably one of the most underrated Sonic games to have ever have come out because it doesn't get talked about as much as the Sonic um the Sonic trilogy from the early 90s that appeared on Sega Genesis. And I feel like the reason why that game was such a big deal is because that was the game where Amy Rose made her video game debut. And granted, she was a damsel in distress in Sonic CD. I don't think this upcoming film is going to really portray her in that light. I feel like things are going to be done in a way where she's presented in a decent manner where it's like she can hold her own in fights, and basically the way she's been like portrayed in the past couple of Sonic games and in like Sonic TV shows where she got her hammer, she can take on like hordes of enemies and stuff like that. And I do feel that I do feel like Sonic for the movie, I do feel like it's definitely going to focus on time travel because Sonic CD, focused heavily on time travel. And I feel like that's probably the only way you can include Eggman in this upcoming film because you look at the Sonic 3 movie, like towards the end, it was implied that Eggman had died. And and it also was implied that, Shadow the Hedgehog had died as well. And the thing is, Eggman was actually a part of he was like one of the he was like the main villain of Sonic CD, him and Metal Sonic. So I'm guessing that the whole time travel aspect is going to be used to, I guess, bring Eggman back as like one of the main villains in the film or whatever. And I honestly, I'm interested in seeing on how this is going to be pulled off. I'm interested in how, like, the director is going to pull this off, and how the writers are going to pull this off and make it all make sense. Because Sonic CD came out way before Sonic Adventure 2, and you look at the Sonic 3 movie, it was pretty much a loose adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2, and I feel like it was handled pretty well, even though characters like Rouge the Bat was like missing or whatever. It really didn't matter so much. I don't think it detracted from the main like plot or anything like that. And yeah, like Sonic 4 focusing on time travel can add a new layer of excitement to the movie because all the other movies were just like just introducing new characters, whether it was Knuckles or whether it was Shadow or what have you. Um, I do feel like this film is probably going to have a bigger budget, especially considering the fact that like it seems like the budget for each film only increases as time goes by, and I'm expecting that to be the case with the Sonic 4 movie. And I don't know. There have been some people speculating on whether or not this upcoming film will be a loose adaptation of Sonic Heroes. I don't think that's going to be the case because, like I said, Shadow is allegedly dead or whatever, and Rouge the Bat was never introduced, and Eggman is assumed to be dead. So I honestly feel like this upcoming film is definitely going to focus more on Sonic CD, and I feel like Sonic CD should have gotten its own film like many, 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 many years ago. And I'm shocked that the game never got like a remake or it never got remastered or anything like that, because I feel like that would be an opportunity for Sega to re- reintroduce that game to like casuals and trying to get like more eyes on that particular game and trying to make as much money off of that as they possibly could. But but yeah, I do feel like this film could definitely be really, really profitable and possibly do even more than than Sonic 3 did in terms of like box office revenue and all that stuff. But but yeah, there's still like a lot of details that we don't know about this film, other than the fact that most likely Metal Sonic is probably going to be like the main antagonist of the film. Um, Amy Rose is going to be a key figure in the next film. But the thing is, do you bring back characters like Knuckles and Tails in the Sonic 4 movie? Because I don't think those two were in the Sonic CD video game. And I feel like if you bring Tails and Knuckles back for the Sonic 4 film, it's going to take the spotlight off of Amy Rose for the most part, and it might make her mean less. So I don't know, maybe it would be better to just kind of like, leave Tails and Knuckles out of the movie, but I don't know. I feel like that's a decision that the writers and the director would have to make. And and yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of high hopes for this upcoming film, even though it's like, 2 years away from now. But but yeah, I do feel like this is definitely going to be a big deal. I know we're supposed to be getting a new Super Mario Brothers movie sometime in 2026, or at least like, that's the rumored belief. But but yeah, the first Mario movie did like 1 billion in terms of sales, or over 1 billion in terms of sales. In terms of box office revenue, I don't think any of the Sonic movies has done that just yet. So I'm pretty sure that there's even like more hype, going around for the second Mario Brothers movie. And I'm not sure what the plot is going to be for that film or anything like that. Hopefully Nintendo will reveal more information about that, before the end of 2025. But I'm looking forward to that movie. That's most likely might come out next year. And I'm definitely looking forward to the Sonic 4 movie that's set to be released in 2027.